Hi everyone, welcome to Abhiram IAS Academy. I'm Ankith Reddy, Faculty of Geography and Environment. So, as part of our Prasthānam program, this is an orientation class for the preparation strategy for geography and environment. Okay, so I will be dealing with three subjects here. One is the geography, where we'll be covering Indian geography, Telangana geography, and also world geography. That is one section. And in the second section, we'll be discussing the environment. And in third section, in our TGPSC syllabus, we have disaster management as well. Okay, so we'll be covering three components in the Prasthanam program. So as far as today's introduction class is concerned, so first let me introduce me. So I'm Ankith Reddy, LTVR. I've done my Masters in Geography from Usman University and also qualified for UGC NET. And currently, I'm pursuing PhD in Geography from Usman University. And I have around 7 years of teaching experience, teaching for both UPSC and TGPSC aspirants. Okay, so this is about a brief background of me. So, in today's session, first we'll start about, you all know, you are all aware of Indian geography and world geography, but the people who are preparing for TGPSC, so they lack understanding regarding Telangana geography. They feel that Telangana geography is new to them because TGPSC aspirants, they are aware of Indian and world geography, as some of them might be preparing for UPSC and all. So Telangana geography is the topic where they feel it as critical. Okay, so you need not worry. We'll cover Telangana geography in detail, and by the end of this Prasthanam program, you'll be confident in Telangana geography, and also I'll make sure that you are confident in Indian geography and world geography, both for your Group 2 examination and for Group 1 as well. Okay, so right. So first we'll discuss the preparation strategy and then we'll move to a demo kind of lecture. Okay, so first, what you have to do in your preparation. So how to prepare the Telangana Geo, Indian Geo, World Geo and Environment. Okay, for TGPSC examinations. So this strategy will help not just for geography but also for the other subjects as well. Okay, so for any examination, when you're preparing for the examination, the first and prime is the syllabus. Most important aspect is the syllabus. So why it is important to go through the syllabus before preparing for the examination? Because this is your guiding light, right? So right, as I told you, I'm doing my PhD in geography, right? So and I've also done my Masters in Geography, graduation in Geography. So preparing a subject for academics is different and preparing a subject for competitive exams is different. Okay, so in academics, you prepare that particular subject to excel in that, to master that, to get doctorate in that, right? But in competitive exams, you study that subject only to clear that examination. Getting my point? So having competitive spirit is very important for competitive examinations, and our TGPSC is a competitive exam and your rank depends on the aspirants, other aspirants who are preparing. In academic examination, if you just, your score depends on how well you write, but in competitive exams, it depends on about your, it also depends on your aspirants, fellow aspirants, right? So first syllabus. So syllabus is a guiding light to your preparation. Okay, so whatever the examination you are preparing for, either for Group 2, 1, get the syllabus copies and repeatedly go through it every day. Before starting the preparation, go through the syllabus. Okay, so once syllabus registers in your mind, whenever you read the topic, either any subject, when you read that, So we will get an idea that okay, this word is mentioned in our syllabus, so this is important. Okay, so for TGPSC, just go through the syllabus. TGPSC paper will get 1 and 2 syllabus. Okay, so when I covered, and regarding the syllabus for Group 1 prelims, if you take Group 1 prelims, the syllabus is, they just mentioned Indian, world and Telangana geography in prelims. The syllabus is just Indian, Telangana and world geography. Okay, and second part in the syllabus itself, they mentioned that environmental issues and disaster management. So these are the 2 topics out of that 13 topics you have in prelims. For Group 1 prelims, out of that 2 parts are this: India, Telangana and world geography, and also the environmental issues and disaster management. This is your syllabus for prelims. Okay, and when it comes to Group 2, in Group 2, the first paper, in your GS paper, you get questions from geography. Okay, geography and environmental disaster management. So for Group 1 mains, we will have a separate session where we will discussing the Group 1 syllabus of geography. Okay. So for any examination, as I told you, first you have to focus on the syllabus of that examination. Okay. Right. Then going through previous year question papers. So for example, TGPSC have conducted Group 2 in the year 2024 and 2016. Okay. Group 1 in 2024. Before that, prelims was conducted twice in the 2022 and 2023. So prelims papers, and TGPSC have conducted examination for other technical exams as well, right? AE, AEE, agriculture officer, okay, agricultural extension officer, farmer. So in that papers, you can also, so in the paper, one paper will be of technical background and other will be of GS, general studies. So you can also solve that questions, GS questions. TGPSC in past 2-3 years, it has conducted many exams, right? So not just only going through the Group 1 and Group 2 papers, you should also go through the papers of the technical examinations as well, because in technical exams, they will be having 2 papers, one of the technical background and the second will be of general studies. Okay, so that's why you have to collect the papers of that exams as well, the GS papers. Okay, and start analyzing. Okay, so since if you go through your syllabus is vast and vague. Okay, in the syllabus, in the just mentioned Indian geography, Telangana geography and world geography. Okay, environmental issues and disaster management. So for aspirant who just started his preparation, it is very difficult to understand this syllabus. Okay, since it is vague, just there are names. So how the aspirants can identify the important areas of the examination, that is through by PYQs, previous year questions. So there are certain areas in geography where you get repeated questions, like let us say in the physical geography, ocean currents. Ocean currents is an area where repeatedly asked. Okay, and the planetary winds is the area where they repeatedly asked, the planetary winds or local winds. Monsoons is a topic in Indian geography where they regularly ask. Okay, rivers, projects. Okay, so these are the topics where they repeatedly ask questions. So these are the areas where you have to focus more. Anyways, you need to cover the syllabus in detail, but the areas which they ask repeatedly, you have to give extra focus. Okay, so that will fetch you good marks. So after collecting the syllabus, you have to go through the PYQs question papers, not just of Group 1 and Group 2 examination, the other examinations, 3, 4 and your other technical examinations, GS papers. Okay, and then coming to the third thing, that is shortlisting your books. Shortlisting your books. One standard book for one subject is enough. One standard book for one subject is enough. So as far as geography is concerned, for your Indian geography and world geography, apart from my notes, NCERTs are sufficient. Okay, NCERTs are sufficient. Along with my notes, NCERT books are sufficient for Indian and world geography, and for Telangana geography, you can follow the government websites, and Telugu Academy, Telangana geography is also, Telangana book of Telugu Academy is also good. That means you have to extract information out of it. Anyways, so from the NCERTs and whatever the class topic that we were discussing, definitely the points will be covered from NCERTs and your Telangana geography, Telugu Academy. Okay, and remember, not just for my subject, for any subject that as far as competitive exams are concerned, just take one standard book for one subject. Okay, so instead of reading 10 books once related to one subject, instead of reading 10 books once, it's always better to read one book 10 times. Okay, because group 2 exam, if you are preparing for exams like group 2, it is completely MCQs based question based examination, right? So only if you are doing revisions, only if you are able to do revisions, then only in the examination you can solve the questions, or else you will have confusion between the options. Okay, so repetition is important. So for that, if you take 10 books, revision will be difficult thing, right? So one standard book with current affairs, make a notes and revise them instead of going for number of books. Okay, class notes, one standard book and current affairs, that's enough. Okay, right. So as I was talking about the current affairs, apart from the class notes, apart from notes making from the standard book, you should also focus on especially for geography, you have to focus on geography and environment recent reports. For example, for every 2 years, India State of Forest Report, ISFR, for every 2 years this report is released. Okay, related to the forest in India. So that kind of reports are important. Okay, or any data related to the population. Okay, population related to the data related to the national parks, wetlands. Okay, the wildlife sanctuary, tiger reserves. Okay, so these are the environmental reports. Okay, indexes, committees. So these are all the important. So any topic that is there in a syllabus, if there is any current affair, then that is important for you. Okay, any topic that is in a syllabus, if there is something in current affairs, so that is important for your examination. So for reports, indexes, so anyways in the class we'll be discussing the reports, indexes, committees as on that day, but your duty is to update the notes regularly. For that, you can collect information from the government websites, and also you have other current affairs magazines, and anyways from the news in the newspaper. And however, we'll be discussing these report indexes, important report indexes in the class. Okay, and then coaching notes and personal notes. So most of them feel that attending the coaching, making notes of the class and reading that will fetch you good ranks in the examination. That is a wrong notion. Okay, how much ever you take coaching, how much ever you read the coaching material, you should also have your own notes and own preparation strategy. Because if let's say in the Prasthanam program, hundreds of students attend my class, so I'll be teaching same content to all. Okay, but the person who goes beyond that, that means apart from reading the class notes, going for a standard book, repeating revisions, taking tests, these things will create the differentiation. I mean, that's difference between the ranker and the other aspirants. Getting my point? So making your own notes is also important. Apart from going through the class notes is must, because that is the classroom is a place where you get the foundation. If you prepare on your own self, what happens is, yes, you can succeed, but it takes more time in understanding the subject, in And a most difficult thing in the competitive exams is what to read and what not to read. What to read and what not to read. So these things you get clarity when you attend coaching. So coaching is, yes, it is an important pillar of your preparation, but it itself is not the what we call single mantra for clearing the examination. So coaching notes is must, attending the classes is must, attend the classes, make your coaching notes. This will give you the foundation to the subject, because faculty here will explain which topics are important for examination, what are the areas they repeatedly ask, and what are the boundaries of that particular topic. So then you can, on giving based on that guidelines, you can prepare or your own by reading a standard books and taking test. Anyways, in the Prasthanam program at the Abhiram IAS Academy, we'll be taking classes, okay, and then we'll make you to read standard books and take test here itself and assess your marks, preparation, and we also provide mentorship. Okay, so we have this program set Abhiram IAS Academy: classes, mentorship, test. Okay, these things will be covered. And then, so coaching notes important, and also making personal notes is also important. Now, why making notes is important, sir? Particular XYZ book is the detail, it has given detailed information. Okay, why don't I just read that book? What is importance of making personal notes, right? It's a good thing. Yes, there are certain books, for example, Lakshmikant, it's a direct book for polity. But what happens? Revising these bulky books just before the examination will be a task. While doing preparation, yes, you can read standard books and all, but if you don't make your own notes, what happens? Just before the examination day, you know that how the examination schedule is. One day 2 papers, next day 2 papers. Even for group 1 mains also, we'll having 7 days examination continuously. Okay, so writing the exam for 3 hours itself a task, and coming to home and revising is very important. So that month will be very crucial for you. So if you prepare your own notes, okay, with your own handwriting, with flow charts, maps and all, then it will help you to revise quickly just before the examination. Okay, so making your own notes is must. Why? But it will help you in quick revision, right? Then especially my subject is concerned geography, environment, and if you take science and technology, and for that visualization is important. Visualization, for example, geography maps. Okay, if you have 10 Indian maps, the political map that you have, 2 rupees or 3 rupees, you get it in the market, in the stationery. So if you have 10 Indian geography maps, 10 Telangana geography and 10 Telangana geography, and if you just start marking in one paper, if you, for example, let's say one paper, making physiographic divisions of India, that means hills, mountains, okay, plains in one paper. The second one rivers, okay, then the rainfall and temperature distribution, forest, wildlife, okay, minerals, industries, transport. So let's say for every topic you have the world map, the Indian and Telangana geography, 10 each. While preparing, if you mark these important areas, then you can easily revise. Okay, and with visualization you can easily remember the things. Okay, so try to take help of that. Okay, so that is about visualization. You can take help of YouTube videos also for learning that content. Okay, and most important topic is revision. and practice. Now, why it is important, revision and practice? As I told you, you are preparing for a competitive exam. Your score depends on, your rank depends on your fellow aspirants. Okay, so only if you perform good in the examination, there is high chance of getting good rank. Okay, so only mantra to succeed in competitive exams is revision. Okay, so how many, the number of revisions, the number of revisions is directly proportional to your rank. Okay, so the difference between a normal aspirant and the ranker is that just revision, that's it, because all of you are having the same content, same classes, same material and all. Only thing that make difference from a ranker and a normal aspirant is revision. Ranker will always revise, revision will be strength. Okay, revision and taking test, both for group 1 and also 2. Attending the classes, making notes, studying standard books, taking test. Okay, revision, taking test, revision, taking test. This will fetch you good rank in the examination. Okay, then there is no replacement for making short notes and revision. This is must. Okay, so this was about the preparation strategy for any subject that for that matter, this should be your preparation strategy. Syllabus, PYQs, shortlisting the books, one book for one standard book for one subject, that's enough, and updating your notes, your class notes and personal notes with current affairs. Whatever the topics that are there in the syllabus, if something that is related to that in the current affairs, that is important for your examination. Okay, this awareness also will get by solving PYQs. Okay, right. See, this PYQs will make you to understand the demand of the examination. That is what. Okay, for example, let us take if academic exams. If you take UGC NET, okay, that is National Eligibility Test, and the student who are aspiring to become lecturers and also to do research, they will appearing NET exam. Okay, let's say this is more like academic exam, and you on the other side you have public service examination. So in both the topics in Indian geography, topics will be almost same, but here in UGC that the preference will be more given to thought, thinkers, their ideas, theories. Okay, whereas in public service examinations, the questions will be more on practical level, application level. Okay, so how can you differentiate this? Only for going, the syllabus will be same, but this previous years will help you to differentiate between this academic exams, academic test and your competitive exams. Okay, so that is PYQs are important in that way, and then also you can also understand the depth of the questions. What is the level of the questions they are asking? Okay, right. So then we discuss about the shortlisting books, current affairs, question visualization, and revision and taking test. Okay, so this should be your preparation strategy, right? Now, so both for Indian geography and Telangana geography, topics are same. Only thing is, when you study about Indian geography, you study about all the features of Indian whole country, and when you study about the regional geography of Telangana, you just stick on to the Telangana state. That is the only difference. Okay, and once we are thorough with Indian geography, it is very easy to study Telangana geography or learn things about Telangana geography, because Telangana is part of Indian. So For if you consider climate, rainfall, temperature, the vegetation, okay, this will be common part. So majority part of India, what you have, the same thing will also be there in Telangana, with few exceptions here and there. Okay, so having good command over Indian geography will help you to get good marks in Telangana geography as well. Okay, so instead of, yeah, if you take the syllabus of Indian geography and Telangana geography, so in the prelims examination, as I told you, in the syllabus, they just mention that Indian geography, Telangana geography, and world geography. So after going through PYQs, I have listed the topics and what are the areas that UPSC's, the TGPSC asks framing questions. So I have listed out 14 topics where they are asking questions from, let's say, the Telangana geography and Indian geography. Okay. So first, they are framing questions on location. Okay, the latitudinal and longitudinal extent. Okay, the bordering states in case of Telangana and bordering countries in case of India. Then the physical setting, the location. Okay, and then physiographic divisions. For example, in India we have physical divisions like mountains, northern plains. Okay, the islands, Thar Desert. Okay, the western coastal plains, Peninsula Plateau. In Telangana, we have three things: Telangana Plateau, Godavari Basin, Krishna Piedmont. Okay, so physiographic divisions. Then studying about the climate of Indian climate and Telangana climate. Okay, Indian climate is described as the tropical monsoon type of climate. Okay, Telangana is also a tropical monsoon type of climate, but depending on its temperature, rainfall pattern, Telangana climate is, according to Köppen's classification, they say it is more equivalent to the AW, or it is more referred as the savanna type of climate. So these things will be detailedly discussing on our syllabus. Okay, so the questions from the location will be most on latitudinal and longitudinal questions and bordering states and districts. And then in case of the physiographic divisions, as I told you, they will frame questions based on the physiography, their formation, their the mineral composition, okay, their location, all these things. In climate, more technical, they will ask more questions about technical aspect like your monsoons, seasons, okay, seasonal changes, okay, the rainfall pattern, temperature pattern, these things. And then river system, both in Indian geography and Telangana rivers. Okay, if you take Indian geography, you have two river systems, that is the Himalayan river system and the Peninsular river system. Himalayan river system, you have Indus, okay, Ganga, Brahmaputra, these rivers. In Peninsular river system, you have Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, okay, Subarnaleka, these things. These are the peninsular rivers. So the difference between Himalayas and the peninsular rivers, Himalayas are the rivers which flow throughout the year because they get water from two sources. One is through melting glaciers. So Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, they originate from glaciers. So they get water from melting of glacier and also the monsoon rainfall. So that's why the Himalayan rivers flow throughout the year. They were very big and they form big deltas, and also they have good river basins. Whereas the peninsular region, these rivers get only, the water source to these rivers is only monsoons. Okay, so that's why June to September water will be high in Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, this area. And once the summer approaches, the dry period comes where there is no rainfall, you can see the dry river beds in the river basin. Okay, so anyways, that is the difference, and will be in rivers topic. Most important topic is that you have to focus on the origin point of the river. For example, if we take river Godavari originates in Western Ghats, the Sahyadri range of Maharashtra, at a place called Nasik. There is a place called Triambakeshwar, Jyotirlinga area. So at a place called Triambakeshwar, the river Godavari originates in Nasik district of Maharashtra. Okay. Then you have to focus on the which state it is moving through. So this Godavari river flows through the Maharashtra, then enters into Telangana, and then enters into AP, and finally drains into Bay of Bengal. So you have to know the path, and also you should also know that important tributaries of river Godavari, especially when you studying Telangana geography, the tributaries in Telangana. For example, Manjira, okay, Maneru, Kadem, Pranahita. Okay, so these are all the tributaries of river Godavari. And you should also focus on the projects, the important project constructed on this river, and the projects which are in news. For example, in Nizamabad district, you have Sriram Sagar project. Okay, and in Jaishankar Bhupalpalli region, you have the Kaleshwaram project. Okay, similarly, Krishna River originates in Mahabaleshwar, Satara district of Maharashtra. It initially flows in Maharashtra, then enters into Karnataka, and then enters into Telangana, then flows in AP. So 4 states. Okay, so you should also focus on the origin point, the tributaries, and where it meeting the sea, and important project constructed. For in Telangana, you know that the important project that are constructed in Krishna River is the Nagarjuna Sagar. At the border of AP and Telangana, you have Srisailam projects, right? This is the area what we have covered in rivers. Okay, and irrigation projects, same thing. Then soils of Telangana and India. So in India, majorly you find 8 types of soils. The alluvial soils are the major one, followed by the black soils, red soils, okay, the laterite soils. Apart from this, you have also minor soils like the peaty soil, salty soil, mountain soils. So majorly in India, you find alluvial soil, black soils, and red soils, and at the heavy intense leached areas, you find laterite. But whereas Telangana is concerned, the alluvial soils are at very minimal stage. Not even 1% of Telangana region you find alluvial soil. But in Telangana, major type of soil that you see is red soils, and within that variation you have the red soils, Chalka and Dubba. So these variations, red soils, and then you find the black soils, and in some patches you find laterite soils, and very rarely you find alluvial soils and this thing. Okay, and each soil has its mineral composition. Some soils are rich in the phosphorus and potash, and most of the soils are lack nitrogen. Some soils are red in color because of the presence of iron oxide. Some soils like black soils develop cracks in the month of summer, and they are known as self-flowing soils. So black soils are more suitable for cultivation of cotton. Okay, so these things we will be discussing in the soil characteristics, right? And then the forest of Telangana in India. So in India, majorly you find major 5 types of forest. That is the tropical evergreen forest, where you find this forest in heavy rainfall regions of the Western Ghats, northeastern regions, and the Andaman Nicobar Islands. These areas you find the tropical evergreen forest. And talking about tropical evergreen forest is nothing but the regions where the trees, the forests are always lush green. That means trees shade their leaves, but not at once. Any time of the period, you see this forest are lush green, evergreen forest. So they are generally seen in the rainfall regions where there are more than 150 or 200 centimeters rainfall. You find this type of forest in Western Ghats, northeastern states, and Andaman Nicobar Islands. And majority of the major type of forest that you see in Telangana is tropical deciduous forest. You find deciduous forest. What are deciduous forests? Deciduous forests are the trees where they shade their leaves. In dry period, they shade their leaves. And if you move throughout India, majorly what you find is deciduous forest, because in June to September region, the trees look good with greenery and all. But once the summer starts in Jan, Feb, you can see the trees will shade their leaves, and you can see the trees without leaves in this dry period because they shade their leaves. So teak, sal, bamboo, okay, hurra, mahua, these are all the type of trees that you see in the tropical deciduous. Whereas in the evergreen region, you see ebony, mahogany, rosewood, these type of forest. Okay, and if you move to the northwestern part of India, the Rajasthan, you find Thar desert, which is famous for thorny bushes. Okay, you find trees like the xerophytes like cactus and all, right? So each region has a different type of vegetation, and so what you have to focus in the distribution of the type of forest and a type of the species, tree species that you find in that region. Okay, these are areas you have to focus on. Distribution, the type of forest, characteristics, distribution, and also the tree fauna species you find in that region. And in environmental perspectives, you should also focus on the national parks. Okay, so if you take Telangana, so you do not find tropical evergreen forest in largely in Telangana, because rainfall is somewhere between 100 to 200, 300 centimeters. The average rainfall of Telangana is 90.6 centimeter or 906 mm. Okay, so majority part of the forest that you see is tropical deciduous. Okay, and in some parts of region you find thorny forest as well. Okay, only in some patches of heavy rainfall you find tropical moist deciduous forest. So these are two types of forest that you see in Telangana. And coming to the forest products, teak, bamboo, eucalyptus. Okay, these are the cashew trees that you find in Telangana, right? And coming to wildlife, if you talk about wildlife in Telangana, you have more than 2,900 plant species, okay, more than 350 bird species, more than 28 mammals. Okay, if in Telangana, if you take tigers are famous, four-horned antelope, Indian bison, okay, mugger, that is your marsh crocodile, these are important wildlife. Okay, so these things will be discussing in detail as part of forest. Then agriculture in Telangana, agriculture in India, we will be focusing on these things. So agriculture in India and Telangana both is subsistence type of agriculture. Majorly you find subsistence form of agriculture. What is you mean by subsistence form of agriculture? The subsistence form of agriculture is nothing but the farmer will have a small piece of land. He will having a small piece of land, and in this piece of land, the entire family works in that small piece of land. Okay, and whatever the produce they get, that is used for self-consumption, not for the market. Small piece of land, entire family work in that. There is no mechanization of tools and all. Okay, and whatever the produce they get here, it is used for family consumption, not for the market. So this is the most type of common type of agriculture that you find in Telangana. Then Telangana in India, subsistence farming. That means the landholding size is very low. Okay, and in the hilly areas you also find the shifting agriculture. Shifting agriculture in Telangana we call also Podu. In northeast it is called Zoom. That means especially followed in the tribal groups in the hilly areas. The tribal groups, what they do is, since they do not use any mechanized tools and fertilizers, they cut the trees. They select the piece of land in the forest, cut the trees, burn them, slash and burn them, cultivate in that particular piece of land for 2 to 3 years, and once the soil loses fertility, they do not have any other equipment, fertilizers and all to increase the fertility of the soil. So once the soil loses fertility, productivity comes down, so they will leave that area and once again move to other forest area, select a piece of land, burn the trees and practice agriculture. So this is not good, right? Why? Because the huge amount of forest lands are lost in the name of shifting cultivation. Okay, so in agriculture, apart from discussing the types of agriculture, we will also discuss the major crops of India and Telangana. Okay, so if you take the major crops of India, it is the paddy, wheat, the cotton, sugarcane, okay, pulses, millets. These are the major crops of India. When it comes to Telangana, the major crop is paddy, and in Telangana wheat is largely not grown, because wheat is, why? Because wheat is a rabi crop. You require 15 to 20 degrees temperatures. Only these temperatures are suitable for wheat growth. So North India temperatures are between 15 to 20. So that's why in wheat is largely grown. In Telangana, paddy is grown. Apart from paddy, since we have rich black soils in the state of Telangana, North Telangana region, it is known for cotton cultivation, and this Telangana is also known for maize cultivation. Okay, So we will study about this aspect as well, and also the government new schemes that Telangana government is encouraging oil palm cultivation. Okay, in agriculture, we have established a research centers, agriculture universities coming up, forest universities coming up in Telangana. So this is about the agriculture. Okay, and in Telangana, in India, you generally follow mixed agriculture. Mixed agriculture. That means apart from doing cultivating the land, you also rear animals, domestic animals like your goats, hens, and all, cows, cattle rearing. So both, if you practice both, it's called mixed agriculture. And then minerals and industries in India and Telangana. So minerals. Okay. So in India, if you like the minerals that are mostly available, abundantly available minerals in India are the coal, iron ore. So these coal iron ore, concentration of this iron ore is largely seen in Chota Nagpur plateau. So each mineral that we cover in India, that will be coal, okay, iron ore, or the natural gas, oil, okay. So precious metal like gold, diamond, okay, non-ferric metals like limestone, okay. These things will be discussing of each mineral, their characteristics, and what are the distribution of this mineral resources in the country. Okay, and then on the same lines, for example, in Telangana, if you take Telangana is rich in granite. Okay, so granite industries are more in Telangana, and then you have cement industries because there are availability of limestone in Telangana, in Nalgonda, Vikarabad area, in Adilabad area, Mancherial area. So here you have rich limestone reserves. Limestone is used to make cement industries. Okay, so industries in that particular region also depends on the availability of raw materials. So once you study the minerals in that region, you can easily understand industries. Okay, then tourism and transport. So whatever the cultural point that we come with dealing in these subjects, we'll cover that. Especially we won't be focusing on tourism. Okay, when you discuss about River Godavari, we'll discuss the important pilgrim sites in River Godavari area. Let's say Basara, Jnana Saraswati temple. Okay, in Pedapalli district you have Dharmapuri. Okay, that is on River Godavari. On River Godavari only, in Kadam River, which is the tributary of River Godavari, you have Kuntala waterfalls, Pochara waterfalls, Gayatri waterfalls. Okay, you have tiger reserves in between, Kaval Tiger Reserve in its path. Okay, your Sivaram Wildlife Sanctuary, the Ettunagaram Wildlife Sanctuary, these are all in Godavari basin. So we'll cover the cultural point. Okay, so apart from covering this geography, you also focus on culture instead of special digging. Then transporting we'll discussing both in India and Telangana. Okay, so in India we will discuss about the Indian railways, okay, roads and airways and waterways most importantly nowadays. And then in Telangana geography we will focus on same aspects but with Nizam background, the railways, okay, the roadways in Telangana. Then population, that is demography, population and demography. So in the population aspect, it is very important topic. Demography is demography is nothing but systematic study about the population in that area, where you will studying about the size of the population, age groups, okay, density, sex ratio and all. Okay, so demography is very important topic. UPSC and TGPSC repeatedly ask these questions in the examination related to the concepts of this population and also the data is important. So the last census that which was conducted is 2011. After independence, the 7th census we have conducted. In 2021-2022 new census should have been conducted, but because of, you all know that COVID-19, the government couldn't do that. Now they are planning to conduct the census now. Okay, so till then you get the new census, your data should be the 2011 census. Okay, anyhow you are going to get new census next year or the following year, but 2011 census is important, since though it is 10 years back data, 10 or 13 years, 14 years back data, Sometimes they may ask the comparison between 11 and the next coming data, or in the past, what about the growth rate, sex ratio, okay, annual growth rate, decadal growth rate. These things will be asking where the population of India is showing the what do you call declining trend, increasing trend. So these aspects you have to focus on population. So when you're studying about population density, literacy rate, okay, the concept of sex ratio, total fertility rate, okay, maternal mortality rate, infant mortality rate, these aspects you have to focus, okay. And then as far as the Telangana geography is concerned, you should have information regarding the 33 districts, the location of these 33 districts, okay, the erstwhile district, how many districts have been divided from the erstwhile districts, okay, cultural points, historical points, geographical points. You should know about each district information, okay. So these are the topics that we are going to cover, okay. So in our Prasthanam series with Abhiram IAS Academy. Right. So what we'll do, we'll take one topic from Telangana geography, that is the location of Telangana geography. So it will be like a demo class for you. We have detailedly discussed about the syllabus, what topics that we will be covering and all. So what we'll do, we'll take a demo topic and cover that topic in the class. Okay, so this will help you to so in today's demo class, we will be discussing the origin of name of Telangana. We will not get into details of this. Anyways, it is an historical topic, but and we discuss it in geographical perspective. And then boundaries of Telangana, Telangana districts and borders, latitudinal extent and Telangana extent, and the time permits will also focus on the state symbols of Telangana. Okay, naming of Telangana. So there are two theories, major two theories that discuss about the naming of Telangana. Okay. So there is most one popular theory that talks about the origin and name of Telangana. Okay, that is by the historian Parabrahma Shastri. He says that the region between three important Shaivite strains, okay, the Kaleshwaram, Srishailam and the Draksharamam. Kaleshwaram, Srishailam, Draksharamam. Okay, so it is three, right? Three in it is also three linga desa. So the region between these three lingas was called as Trilinga, and slowly this Trilinga turned into Telangana word. So Trilinga desa. And there is one more thing, one more theory which talks about the origin of river, the name of Telangana, that is the Godavari, as I told you, the river Godavari originates in Maharashtra, then flows in Telangana and the 8 districts of Telangana, then enters into AP. Okay, so majority part of North Telangana is river Godavari. So river Godavari in ancient text was referred as Telivaha. It was called as Telivaha. So you all know that India got its name. Because of Indus River or Sindhu River, kada? So Indus. So people who used to live on the banks of the river Indus were called as Indois by Greeks, and that's how India name has evolved, right? Same thing. So Godavari River was the main river of Telangana. So the people who used to live on the banks of the river Godavari was called as the Telangis. Then that's how the name Telangana has come from. So there are two theories, one about the Trilinga Desa, the Kaleshwaram, Srisailam, Draksharama, and the second theory is about the Teliva. Okay, that is about river Godavari, ancient name. Okay, so you will discuss this in historical perspective. Okay, right. So this, whatever the topics that you are going to background about the formation of Telangana, you will detailedly discuss about this topic, learn about this topic in Telangana moment. So as far as geography content, we just focus about the historical events in a series. Okay, so you all know that India got independence in the year 1947, August 15th, right? Okay, but the Hyderabad state, the Telangana region, was still under the monarchy rule of Nizams. Okay, Nizams ruled the Telangana region for around 200 years. Even after independence, Nizam was ruling India. Even in rule of India, he signed a standstill agreement with India and he started to rule. Okay, so after independence 1947, the states were asked to either to merge with India or Pakistan, not to remain independent. But Nizam chose to make Hyderabad as an independent state. So he had differences with the Indian government, so he made a standstill agreement. Without not getting into technicalities, I am explaining this thing in simple terms. So standstill agreement, that Nizam should not have any external affairs. He should not have a separate. He should not involve in defense activities. It should allow Indian rupee. So these were the agreements. But Nizam started to procure the arms and ammunition from different countries. So he was engaging the World War chiefs into his army. Okay, he was planning to buy a port. Okay, and he was also he was starting to have maintaining relations with Pakistan. Okay, so and there is also problem of Razakars in the Hyderabad state. Okay, atrocities of Razakars. Because of all these things, in India, Indian government in 1948 conducted Operation Polo from 13th September to 17th September. 1948 from 13 to 17th September, they have conducted Operation Polo or police action. It was Polo, and removed the rule of Nizam, and India, this Hyderabad state was integrated to India in 1948 September 13. So Telangana state was liberated, or it was integrated to India. Okay, so actually Telangana region got independence on September 17, 1948 from the despotic rule of Nizams. Okay, right. So apart from our Telangana region, apart from our Telangana region, the Nizam state was also called as the Hyderabad state. So this Nizam state, apart from the Telangana region, the territory of Nizam state also included some part of Maharashtra, which is called Marathwada of Maharashtra, and the Kalyani Karnataka of Karnataka. So apart from the Telangana, you also had, earlier we had 8 districts in Telangana. So Karnataka and Marathwada. So this entire region was called as the Nizam state, the core of Deccan region. Okay, famous for this Deccani culture. Okay, let me show you the picture here. So this is the present day Telangana, right? So apart from this Telangana, you also had the region in Maharashtra, Marathwada, and the Kalyani Karnataka. The Gulbarga, Bidar, Raichur districts of Karnataka were also part of the Nizam state or Hyderabad state. Okay, so this state continued up to 1956. The state continued up to 1956. Okay, so after that 1956, based on the concept of language and lobbying of Andhra people, Telangana was merged into Andhra Pradesh on November 1st, 1956. Okay, so before that, the Andhra Pradesh area, Andhra region was part of Tamil Nadu. It was called as Madras state. Okay, Andhra Pradesh was not also an independent state. It was also a part of Madras state. Okay, so they couldn't was digest about the rule. The domination was of the Madras, is not of Telugus. Okay, so the Andhra people wanted to have a separate state, and in 1953 Andhra Pradesh state was formed from Madras, that is Tamil Nadu. Okay, so when in 1953, you are able to follow, right? In 1953, till 1953, the Andhra Pradesh region was also part of Madras state, not Telangana. So you know that the Madras state was under the British rule, not under any king. It was under British rule. So this Andhra people were able to get the British education, tactics from British people, all these things. So they had good relations with this, and since it was in British India, there was no ban on Congress party. So the Congress party strengthened in Andhra and the Tamil Nadu region. The many leaders have evolved from this part of India, the Andhra and the Madras state. So they were active in the Indian politics in Congress party. So what happened after 1947, after India got independence? Okay, in 1948, Telangana state got liberated and it was merged into India. Okay, merged into India. So you know that the central government was of Congress party, and these people were also of the Congress party. They had great impact of Indian politics, in central government politics, the Andhra people. So in 1953, Andhra Pradesh got separated from Tamil Nadu. Okay, and they had no capital because Chennai was the capital for the joint state, so there was no capital for them. So Kurnool was a temporary capital for them. Literally, Andhra people have ruled in this for around 3 years, from 2053 to 56, under the tents. Since they had no capital city for them, they ruled under tents. Okay, so when 1953, when Andhra Pradesh state was divided from Madras, they had no capital. Okay, and second thing, the state was lacking coal reserves. Coal is used to generate thermal energy. Okay, and 3, water resources. Yes, Krishna, the Godavari River, Krishna River. So first Godavari River enters into Telangana, then into Andhra Pradesh, and first Krishna River enters into Telangana, then it enters into Andhra. Okay, so they have noticed this, that water resources, to have a good command over the water resources, only if Telangana region is part of Andhra, then only they can enjoy the water resources. Okay, and then funds. Telangana was a surplus state with huge amount of government land surrounding Hyderabad. Okay, whereas AP was not a profit making state. That means it was in the deficit. Okay, deficit. And education. So as in after 1948 we were under Nizams. Urdu was the official language. Okay, people were speaking their mother tongue, but they were only literate. They are able to read and write Urdu. Telugu was not given importance in the Nizam rule. Whereas in Andhra region, apart from English, local vernacular language was also encouraged. Education in vernacular language was encouraged. So they were good in Telugu and English. Okay. Once what happened in 1948, after 1948, the Telangana region went into India and it was under the rule of military rule, okay, civilian rule of M.K. Vellodi and others. What they have done, they have introduced the local language, that is Telugu and English. Telugu and English. But the localites of Telangana region were good in Urdu. Only good in Urdu. They were knowing only Urdu. Okay. So huge amount of employment activities, especially in education department, was done in Telangana. Okay. And most of the people started to migrate from Andhra to Telangana in search of these employments, because Telugu and English were made official languages. Okay. So considering all this thing, అంటే తెలంగాణ ఒక బంగారు బాతులా కనిపించింది అనమాట. Okay, so Telangana was shining back then. So they had capital Hyderabad. They have rich Godavari basin, rich coal reserves, water, river Godavari Krishna first enters into Telangana, then into AP. Surplus funds and lack of education. Local people lack education. They had education, but Urdu, there was huge difference in literacy rate, so lack education. Okay, looking at this commercial aspects, financial aspects, okay, these Andhra people from 1952 to 56, they started to lobby the central government, the then central government ruled by Nehru, that we want a separate state for Telugus. You know that in Telangana most of the people speak Telugu, so they wanted to have a separate combined state, Andhra Pradesh state, where these people will be speaking Telugu. That is, for one language we having the one state, for one language, based on language we want a one state. Okay, so Telangana people were against it, leaders were against it, but because of the lobbying tactics of the Andhra leaders, you know that these leaders were part of since Congress party in 1885. So these leaders had a lobbying at the central government, and in 1956 November 1st, Telangana was merged into Andhra Pradesh, and that's how Andhra Pradesh state was formed. Okay, and from 1956 to 2014, Telangana was ruled in the combined state of AP, and it lost its resources, political power, all these things to the AP leaders, because the Telangana people were, before merging into AP, they were concerned about the water, jobs, education, and resources. Telangana is rich in resources, in financial resources, water facilities. Okay, so these things, and in 1956 to 2040, almost for 44 plus 10, 54 and 60 years, we were under Andhra rule leaders. Majority of the chief ministers from Andhra, so they are politically dominant. So all the resources of Telangana was diverted into Andhra, either it may be water resources, financial resources, or jobs. Okay, so that's why Telangana movement was done in 3 phases of the movement. So finally in 2014 Telangana state was formed. So this is a brief understanding about the formation of Telangana. So these topics will be discussed in Telangana movement. Right. So this was the map of Hyderabad state. They might ask you, so that's why there were 8 districts in Telangana back then. Adilabad, Nizamabad, Karimnagar, Medak, Atrafi Baldeva, nothing but Hyderabad, Nalgonda, Warangal. Okay, and Hyderabad area. Sorry, Mahbubnagar. Adilabad, Nizamabad, Karimnagar, Medak, Atrafi Balda, Hyderabad, Nalgonda, Warangal, Mahbubnagar. So there were 8 districts during Nizam state rule. Okay, and then later, out of Warangal, Khammam state was formed. From district was formed, and from Hyderabad, the Atrafi Balda, Rangareddy district was formed. So in 2014, when Telangana state was formed, Telangana was formed with 10 districts. When Nizam state was merged with India, the Telangana total districts were 8. But Telangana, after integration of India, 2 districts were formed, Khammam and Rangareddy. So when Telangana state was formed, 10 districts. Nizam state, Telangana region had 8 districts. Okay, apart from these 8 districts of Telangana, the districts of Maharashtra like Aurangabad, Parbhani, Nanded, Bir, Usmanabad, the 5 districts of Maharashtra were also part of the Nizam state, and 3 districts of Karnataka, Bidar, Gulbarga and Raichur. 3 districts. So 5 plus 3 plus 8. 8 districts of Telangana, 3 of Karnataka. Now this Karnataka is called Kalyana Karnataka, and 5 Marathwada region of Maharashtra. Total 16 districts. So this was, okay, this was the map of Hyderabad state. Okay, and so on June 2nd, 2014, just now we have discussed, the Telangana was formed, Telangana state was formed. One of the famous movements, Telangana in 29th state was formed in India on June 2nd, 2014 by the Telangana Reorganization Bill. Okay, right. So when Telangana was formed, the total number of districts were 10. Now for the administrative convenience, we have made these 10 districts into 33 districts. Okay, we have divided these 10 districts into 33 for administrative convenience. So when Telangana was formed, this was the map of Telangana. Adilabad, Nizamabad, Karimnagar, Medak, Warangal, Khammam, Nalgonda, Mahbubnagar, Rangareddy and Hyderabad. 10 districts. Okay. So when Telangana was formed, this was 10 districts, and you can observe the some part here, right? So you know that this Telangana was a surplus state. Telangana had as a capital. So in 2014 reorganization bill of Telangana, in order to pacify the Andhra people, there is a project called Polavaram project, which is built immediately after the Papikondalu. There is a project called Polavaram project. So this Polavaram project was made as the national project. The national project to pacify the Andhra people. The central government, the then Telangana government, has notified this region, this project as a national project. National project means the funding will be getting from the central government. Okay, so in the process of construction of this project, the low-lying areas of Telangana in the Khammam districts will be submerged. So that's why the in the Telangana formation period, 7 mandals were ceded to AP. 7 mandals were given to AP. 5 complete mandals, 2 complete 5 mandals, and 2 what do you call the partial mandals. 5 were total and 2 partial mandals. Okay, Just a second. Okay. So what are these 5 mandals? Let us look at here. Yeah. So the following 7 mandals in the West Bengal districts were transferred to AP. The 5 districts were completely annexed and 2 were partially annexed to East Godavari, West Godavari district, Andhra Pradesh. So Kunnavaram, Valerpadu, Kukkunuru, Varmachandrapuram, Chinturu, and partial regions of Bhadachalam, Burgampadu. Okay, these mandals were annexed to or transferred to AP. So when Telangana region was formed, the total area of Telangana was 1,14,840 square kilometer. Now the present, after ceding that 5 mandals to AP, 1,12,077 square kilometer is the total area. This is important. 1,12,077 square kilometer area is the Telangana area. Okay. So India's total area is 32 lakh square kilometer. 32 lakh square kilometer. Okay. India's area is, the Telangana region is out of that 1,12,000 square kilometer. So it is 11th in area. Telangana rank is 11th in area and 12th in population. With 3.5 crore, 12th in population. Okay. Around 3.49% of India's land is Telangana. Okay. So when Telangana state, the total area of Telangana is now 1,12,700. Number of districts in Telangana back then was 10. Now there are 33 districts. So now we'll study how these 33 districts are formed. So for administrative convenience, 10 districts of Telangana were divided into 33 districts on 11th October 2016 on Dasara. These 10 districts were carved into the 31 districts initially. First they have formed 31 districts. In 2016, 31 districts were formed. So what are these districts? So these were the 31 districts. Okay. Let's say for example, from Adilabad, 4 districts are formed. Adilabad, Nirmal, Asifabad, Manchiryal. Asifabad, Manchiryal, Adilabad, Nirmal. Similarly, from Nizamabad, 2 districts were formed. Nizamabad and Kamareddy. Nalgonda, same. Okay. Suryapet and some part here Yadadri Bongiri. Khammam and Bhadradi Kottagudem. Warangal, Hanmakonda. Okay. Mahbubabad. Likewise, from Mehboob, Vanaparthi, Gadwal, Vanaparthi, Mehboob. Okay. Nagar Karnool. So like the districts were made. Okay. So I'll show you the picture. So this was the map. So this was Eastwell Adilabad, right? 4 districts. 2. Okay. 2. Jaishankarpalli, Warangal, Hanmakonda, Mehboob, Jangaon 4. Mehboob, Nagar Karnool, Vanaparthi, Jogulamba, Gadwal. Okay. Vikarabad, Sangareddy, Medak, this region. Rajana Sirsila, Karimnagar, Peddapalli, Jagityal from Karimnagar. So these districts were formed. So from 10 they made 31. So later, with the demand of the people of Mulugu and the Narayanpet of Mahbubnagar, so 2 new districts were formed in 2019 out of Mulugu and Narayanpet from Mahbubnagar. The 2 districts were formed. So 31 plus 2 new districts, that is Mulugu of Jaishankar Bhopalpalli and Narayanpet from Mahbubnagar. These 2 districts were formed. Total districts are 33 districts now. As of now, there are 33 districts. On February 17, Mulugu and Narayan districts were created. 33. Okay. So this is how the present map of Telangana looks. So Mulugu and Naranpet. Mulugu from Jaishankapalli and Naranpet from Navana. 2 districts are formed. Okay. So total there are 33 districts now. So from Adilabad, 4 districts are from Adilabad, Nirmal, Manchiral, Komaram, Asabad, Nizamabad 2, Nizamabad and Kamareddy. From Karimnagar, Jagital, Peddapalli, Radhana Sircilla. Warangal urban, now it is called Hanmakonda. Rural is nothing but Warangal now. Jaishankar-Bhupalpalli, Jangaon, Mehboobabaad and Mulugu. Then Khammam and Bhadradi Kottagudem, Medak, Sangareddy, Siddipet. Nalgonda, Surapet and Yadadri, some part of Yadadri Bungiri. Mehboob Old Mehboob Nagar Karnool, Joglamba Gadal, Vanapatya, and recent one Naranpet. And from Rangareddy, 3. Rangareddy, Vikarabad, Medchal, Malkajgiri. And Hyderabad is the only district which was not divided into other districts. So total 10 were made into 33. Okay, location of district is very important for understanding. So draw a political map of Telangana and prepare this. Okay. You can see the northernmost district is Adilabad. The southernmost is Jovulamba Gadwal. Okay. The easternmost district is Bhadradi Kottagudem. Okay. The westernmost district, you can see the Naranpet here. Okay. Now we look into the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of India. The Telangana, sorry. So, you know, 0 degree latitude, that is equator, divides Earth into 2 equal hemispheres, that is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. 0 degree latitude. Okay, the imaginary lines drawn okay, west to east on the globe are called as the latitudes. So 0 degree latitude divides the Earth equal to 2 hemisphere, north and south. So you can see that India is located. So the latitudes which are above this 0 degree north latitude is referred with letter N, and the latitudes which are below this are referred with the letter S. South latitudes. So in the south you have 90 latitudes, in the north you have 90 latitudes. 90 in the north, 90 in the south. So all then lifted with letter N, and south one is written with S. And latitudes in India is never referred with letter N because India is just above the equator, not below the equator. So S letter is not used using latitudes. And then this is 0 degree longitude. Passing through 0 degree longitude passes through Greenwich in London. So it divides Earth into 2 equal hemispheres, western hemisphere and eastern hemisphere. Okay, and the longitudes that are passing through India will always be E. Longitudes. The longitudes are nothing but imaginary lines from north to south. Okay, so these are western latitudes. So eastern latitudes. So India longitudes, when you are talking about this, it should be referred with letter E because we are located in the eastern hemisphere. And latitudes, when you are talking about latitudes, you should focus on letter N. It should always be denoted with N. Okay, so this is 0 degree equator, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 90. So Telangana is located here in between these two latitudes. So the latitudinal extent of Telangana is very important. So latitudinal extent of Telangana is between the southern latitude, north latitude, the northern latitude. Letter here, though it is in south, you are using letter N because we are above the equator. Our latitude should always indicate with letter N. Okay, so Telangana is located between 15 degrees 55 minutes north to 19 degrees 59 minutes north latitudes. Southernmost latitude of Telangana is 15 degrees 55 minutes. North is 19 degrees 55 minutes. So this is the latitudinal extent of Telangana. So whenever you search for a location in Telangana region, always they show between 19 to 15 degrees latitudes. And then longitudinal extent of India. Longitudes. The lines drawn, imaginary lines drawn from north to south. So it is between longitude, it is 77 degrees 10 minutes to 81 degrees 50 minutes. 77 degrees 10 minutes to 81 degrees 50 minutes. This is the longitudinal extent of Telangana. Longitudinal extent of Telangana. Okay. So both these latitudes and longitudes will help us to understand the point, the coordinates. So whenever you check a location of particular place, let's say put a Hyderabad, you are checking a location in Hyderabad, it will show you that 14 degrees north and 77 degrees east. This is how when you check a location in a place, it will show the coordinates like this, latitude and longitude. So the latitudinal lines which are drawn from west to east and north south longitudes, the interacting points will help you to identify the location. They are called coordinates. So what is the latitudinal extent of India? 19 degrees 55 degrees north to 15 degrees 55 degrees south. South region, but letter should be N. And here east 77 degrees east to 81 degree east. This is the longitudinal extent of India. That's Telangana, sorry. Then the bordering states of Telangana. Bordering states of Telangana. So Telangana shares border with Maharashtra. This state of Maharashtra. This is state of Karnataka. This is state of Andhra Pradesh, and this is state of Chhattisgarh. So Telangana shares border with 4 districts here. Which states here? Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. Telangana shares border with 4 states. Okay. When Telangana was formed, you know that 5 districts we have given it to Andhra. So before giving that, 5 mandals. So these 5 mandals were part of Telangana back then, right? So when these 5 mandals were there, Telangana was also making border with Orissa, but now it doesn't make any border because that 5 mandals we have given to AP. So now, right now, Telangana shares only border with 4 states: Maharashtra, Karnataka, AP, and Chhattisgarh. Okay, na? So northwest you have Maharashtra, northeast Chhattisgarh, west Karnataka and Maharashtra, south and east this thing. So Telangana is a landlocked state. So what is a landlocked state? So the state which do not have coastal region, and second, it does not have any international border. So Telangana is a landlocked state which not an water body, no international border. Madhya Pradesh, no water body, no international border. Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Telangana are landlocked state. They do not have coast, or they do not share any international border with any country. Next. Very important topic. At the end of the session, we will also try to solve questions related to this. Okay. Right. How many districts of Telangana share border with Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and what are the districts that share border with Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Chhattisgarh? Very important. So first we look into the districts of Telangana which share border with the Maharashtra. So first you can see So this is state of Maharashtra here, you can see. To here. So first Jaishankar Bhupalpalli, Mancherial, Kombrami Masifabad, Adilabad, Nirmal, Nizamabad, Kamareddy. Okay, what are they? Jaishankar Bhupalpalli, Mancherial, Kombrami Masifabad, Adilabad, Nirmal, Nizamabad, Kamareddy. So Estival, Adilabad and Estival, Nizamabad. So these are the places, districts which share border with Maharashtra. And then the districts of Telangana which share border with Karnataka. So you can see one Kamareddy, Sangareddy, Vikarabad, Naranpet, Gadwal. So what are the places? Kamareddy, Sangareddy, Vikarabad, Naranpet, Gadwal. 5 districts they share with Karnataka. And then Andhra Pradesh. With Andhra Pradesh, Gadwal, Vanaparthi, Nagar Karnool, Nalgonda, Suryapet, Khammam and Bhadradi Kottagudem. Okay, 5 with Karnataka, 7 with Andhra, 7 with Maharashtra and 3 with Chhattisgarh. What are they? Bhadradi Kottagudem, Mulugu, Jaishankar Bhupalpalli. 3 states, 3 districts. Bhadradi Kottagudem, Mulugu, Jaishankar Bhupalpalli. Okay, so 7 with Maharashtra, 5 with Karnataka, 7 with Andhra, 3 with Chhattisgarh. Okay, and you can also notice here that you can see Kamareddy here. Kamareddy is sharing border with 2, one with Maharashtra and second with Karnataka. Similarly, Gadwal is also sharing border with 2, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Here, Bhadradi Kottagudem also with Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Here, Jaishankar Bhupalpalli with Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh. 2 districts. Okay. Now, one solve this question here. Pause it. Okay, look at the question, pause it and try to solve the answer. Okay, pause it, right, and solve the question, right. Which of the following districts of Telangana has the border with Karnataka? So you know that first thing that how many districts of Telangana share border with Karnataka? 5. Okay. Yeah, Vikarabad, Naranpet, Gadwal is correct, but Medak is not, right? Medak is in central district. So answer is ABD. So answer is ABD, that is 3. This is previous year TGPSC question. So now you know that the questions, you know that this is chapter, this question is from location, physical setting of Telangana. Now by going through PYQs, you can understand that, okay, they might frame question related to bordering districts of Karnataka. So if this time they are asking Karnataka, they might ask Maharashtra next, Andhra Pradesh or Chhattisgarh. So that means you have to have idea of this. Getting my point? Syllabus lo undi Telangana geography ani. Manam design chesina physical setting. You all also have that part. But how they will frame the question, what areas they will touch up, this you get through only by PYQ. Only by PYQ. Okay. Similarly, pause this and also try to solve this question. Yeah. So here, Telangana state shares border with which states? Okay. Karnataka is there, but there is no Tamil Nadu. So you can eliminate this. Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, no Odisha. Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, no Odisha. So left with the 4 options: Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. So this is the right answer. This is also PYQ. Okay. So location, when you are studying about the location topic in Telangana geography, you have to focus on these areas because they have asked this in PYQs, previous year exams. So they will not repeat the same question, they will repeat the same model of the question. Okay. So I hope you got some kind of orientation related to how to prepare geography. And also I hope you also enjoyed this demo class of the Telangana geography. So this is how we are going to cover the syllabus at Abhiram IAS Academy. So at the Abhiram IAS Academy, we just not teach classes, we also give mentorship, and we also provide test series at Abhiram IAS Academy. So if you are interested in joining this Prasthānam program, you can enroll in online, or you can visit our institute in Ashok Nagar. Just near the Ashok Nagar road, we have Abhiram IAS Academy, and visit our institute and get the further details. Thank you. We'll meet in the next class.